What's up, y'all? While making my NASCAR resolutions video, I decided it'd be fun to share some of the predictions I have for how the 2023 season will play out. So here's some big and a few wild predictions I anticipate for the 2023 season. My first prediction will be 50-50. Half of fans would love it, while the other half wouldn't be thrilled. My first 2023 prediction is that we see a season dominated by Hendrick Motorsports. While Hendrick Motorsports had a very successful year, winning 11 races, all 4 drivers in the playoffs, and was a Roval removed caution away from 2 drivers in the Championship 4 back-to-back years. But the team didn't win as often as they were in position. The team let several races get away or had them taken away. With the second year of the next-gen car, I think Hendrick expands on what they had in 2022 and has another dominant season. While maybe not to 2021 levels, but how many of you would be surprised by stat lines of, say, Chase Elliott wins 6 races, Larson wins 5 races, William Byron winning 3, Bowman pulls off another two wins? I would say not very many would be surprised, and this could be leaving some on the table. So I expect 2023 to be another Hendrick-filled year, leaving many fans asking where the parity went. On to the next prediction, coinciding with the change of parity. I believe the season will only see 12 winners total. 11 regular season winners, with another non-playoff driver winning a playoff race that I'll mention later in the video. Last season's 19 winners was a historic run, but there were many races that, with very little change, the 2022 season changes on its head for who and how many drivers win races. So with a little less chaos and a few teams gathering more wins to themselves, I believe we will only see 12 total winners in the 2023 season. A few years ago, this prediction would have been a wild claim. Nobody would have thought it. But in 2023, I believe 2 Gibbs cars will miss the playoffs. 2022 saw a bit of a coming out party for Christopher Bell, but Joe Gibbs Racing as a whole, without a doubt, took a step back, as Martin Truex Jr. went winless, and Kyle Busch's only win was a Chase Briscoe wrecking Tyler Reddick back-end win, and Denny Hamlin's Coke 600 was a Chase Briscoe spin taking away Larson's win. If you include NASCAR's terrible Roval ordeal, Joe Gibbs Racing is moments away from only winning 3 races in 2022. So with so much effort having been put into Ty Gibbs and his reality check he'll have, I think Joe Gibbs Racing misses the playoffs with 2 drivers, Ty Gibbs and one of the veterans. And this will lead into the next prediction. This next prediction is that Toyota only wins 5 races in the Cup Series. As long as NASCAR doesn't pull any Roval repeats, the Toyotas won't win any road courses. And the Fords and Hendrick have the superspeedway package figured out, leaving Toyota with limited races to win. While it won't be a terrible year overall, I think when 2023 ends, they'll look back with only a handful of wins. Noah Gragson will be the 2023 season's only first-time winner. While Ty Gibbs ends up getting a reality check year, 2022 saw 5 first-time winners, while 2023 really only has a handful of drivers left that don't have Cup Series wins. This means there's less opportunity to see first-time winners, along with the fact I don't think any of the current drivers looking for their first Cup win will have the opportunity, except for Noah Gragson. Petty GMS will see both cars win, as the 42 and 43 will have plenty of speed. And we will see Mr. Celebration get the opportunity to bring an epic celebration to the Cup Series as Noah Gragson climbs his first Cup Series win in 2023 and will be the only first-time winner in the series. There will be some sort of new innovation seen by multiple teams or the entire garage. Some kind of dog tracking or car appearance situation. While Rodney Childers believes the next-gen car eliminated ingenuity for teams, I think the off-season and early section of the season will provide a couple organizations with the opportunity to find and exploit on the car that they absolutely dive into while they still can. Whether this is back to a Sam Hornish dog tracking the cars, or something new where they figure a way to lift the front end, or maybe the right side way up into the air, to manipulate the diffuser. Number 7 is all about number 7. Justin Allgaier wins his Xfinity Series championship. After agonizing loss after agonizing loss for veteran Justin Allgaier, I believe 2023 will be the year and for number 7 in the Xfinity Series. Junior Motorsports was the best team last year, and with Noah Gragson moving up to the Cup Series along with Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger, I believe Allgaier can regain previous championship-level form and win 6, 7, or even more races and get to Phoenix, one of his best racetracks, and just get the opportunity to just dominate that race and claim that elusive championship that Allgaier has had in his sights so many times. Kyle Busch sees more success than he had last year. Kyle Busch wins 1 truck race and 4 Cup Series races. With Kyle's next chapter of his career beginning in 2023, it'll be a tale of two sides. He's going to have a back to true Kyle Busch form in the Cup Series, winning 4 races and back to the round of 8. But his truck team will need to go through some regrowth pains. Without TRD support, that'll lead to Kyle winning only 1 race in the Truck Series, and it'll probably be the only win for KBM this year. But I do think KBM will be just fine after next year. My number 9 prediction will be about number 9 Chase Elliott. 2023 will see Chase win 3 road course races and claims the number 1 spot for NASCAR's road course wins list. While Elliott was in contention to win every road course race last year, the road course ace didn't win any in 2022. But this year that changes. With Tyler Reddick moving to Toyota, it takes away the one driver that was the only real challenger to Chase Elliott when penalties or ill cautions weren't setting Chase back on the road courses. Chase Elliott wins 3 road course races in 2023. This will be a 2-part prediction, as I believe Hailie Deegan will show more promise in the handful of Xfinity races she'll get to run than she showed in the Truck Series this last couple years. Hailie Deegan's Truck Series career has been a disappointment. While at times she's shown the capability to have speed, she hasn't progressed as much as the sport would like, as she had been given tremendous amount of hype around and after the time of her K&N Series win in 2019, but the hype has been hampered as late. But when any driver such as Hailie runs the last couple years, runs in that Truck Series right now in mid-pack, I don't think any driver really develops any, as the higher downforce trucks and impatient drivers just create a wreck fest without opportunity for any development. But in the Xfinity race she ran last year, she showed that with the car having less downforce and less chaos, she had a chance to just drive and improve as the race went on. She showed real promise, and in some of the Xfinity races she'll run this year, it'll actually let her develop and have future opportunity in the series. The next part of Deegan's prediction is that for 2024, she'll receive a Ford and SHR partnered ride to run a full or nearly full season for Stewart-Haas's Xfinity team in the 2024 season, after Cole Custer and Riley Herbst depart the Xfinity rides for the Cup Series for Cole Custer, and Riley Herbst will disappoint and be released. Texas Motor Speedway announces a super speedway design after the Spring Atlanta race has good ratings. The last few decades, NASCAR, Speedway Motorsports, and NASCAR tracks do everything for TV. Anything TV wants, NASCAR bends to, and that created the super speedway version of Atlanta. With the endless negativity of Texas Motor Speedway, they will not keep it that way, and I anticipate another higher TV rating for the Atlanta races this year that'll lead to the final decision of transforming Texas into a separate mile-and-a-half super speedway. This will be a safety prediction. With NASCAR's changes to the rear for safety changes after multiple issues from 2022, we will see a consequence. NASCAR solves the rear impact injury issues, but because they've decreased the integrity of the rear, there will be a few rear impact wrecks that see massive fires, because the fuel cell is now an exposed area. Door Bumper Clear talked several times about the whole reason for the rear design was because the independent rear suspension put them in a box, that they built the rear the only way everything was secured. So these changes mean they've reduced the fuel cell protection, which was the whole purpose of the rear clip in the old car, and why it compressed in so much, because that's what it was designed for. For a silly season prediction, Kevin Harvick announces only one more year. After the success of Kevin Harvick's 2020 season, it seemed as though we would see Kevin winning handfuls of races and compete for championships for maybe another 5 or 6 years. But after a winless 2021 season where he did everything but win, and then a 2022 season where Harvick didn't have raw speed, that 2020 season seems like ages ago. And with the change in the sport and with the next-gen car, and Kevin's son, Keelan, going all over on a developing driver's path that Kevin wants to give Keelan, the writing is on the wall for Kevin to be ready to call it a career. With crew chief Rodney Childers talking about where there's being zero ingenuity room on these cars, I believe Rodney and Kevin will both decide that they'll announce during this season that 2024 will be a farewell tour and the conclusion of their careers. Before our last prediction, some brief honorable mentions. I believe in some fashion colleague racing reduces the number of teams they run. They spread themselves too thin and the Xfinity team wasn't as competitive. Trackhouse announces Project 91 has expanded to run a few oval races with the international drivers that the car is designed for. Some driver out there will want to run the Bristol night race. Finally, I believe the Chicago street race will disappoint. While NASCAR fans will travel and watch this race, the purpose in this race is supposed to be expanding the sport, which I don't think any new fans will be drawn, and the race itself will become a disaster in some form. Our final prediction, the 2023 season is not the season of 23. Bubba Wallace misses the playoff as the first driver out. 2311 driver Bubba Wallace is earning more respect as a driver each year as he improves each year. But without Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch driving Toyotas in the second year of the next gen, as previously mentioned, it will not be far-fetched to see Hendrick dominate in overall less parity, less winners. But while Wallace will be a 14th through 18th points position, I believe it'll be like almost every other year, other than last year, as the last driver in on points is usually somewhere 9th through 14th. And I believe Bubba Wallace will be the first driver out on points in this 14th or 15th points position. But all is not lost. I believe we'll see Wallace continue his new tradition, being a playoff spoiler, winning one race in the playoff.